With EVO 2016 right around the corner, I thought I'd assemble a little guide in order to help you justify the plane ticket to your mom after she laughs at you for going 0-2. It's time to supplement your daily training with some John tech skill practice. First, we can review some simple John techniques just to get you in the mood. First on the list we have external factors. These ones are pretty weak overall, but they can still be alright. External factors are basically things that are going on outside of the game while you're playing. Stuff like my chair is uncomfortable or the guy next to me smells are reasonable circumstances, but don't really do too much in the way of excusing the JV3 stock you just received from the winner of last week's 8-man Kansas local tournament. Try to only use these after a close loss in a game when you're pretty sure you can take the next one. Next we can talk about setup Johns. Setup Johns are a step above external Johns. Something like TV glare probably won't actually change the outcome of the game, but it can be intrusive enough to be annoying. Also, the recent Northwest Ohio Pichu hack scandal is handy because now you have ground to stand on when you accuse the opponent's hitboxes of being too big. Third on the list we have controller Johns. Controller Johns can be very hit or miss depending on execution. How specific you are matters a lot when blaming your controller. My inputs aren't working, sounds childish and whiny, whereas I think the heat distorted my controller stick so I can't shield drop properly, comes off as a solid excuse. Now that you've mastered some of the basics, we can move on to advanced Johning techniques. The silent John is a technique where you John with your actions rather than with your words. A common example is unplugging and replugging your controller during or between games, insinuating that you only lost because your controller wasn't working properly. As you can see, the silent John can be used in combination with many other types of Johns for a greater impact. You can external John by taking your sweatshirt off mid-set, or you can move your chair around between stocks to avoid the glare on the TV. The pre-John is a powerful technique where you John before your actual loss. It's important to always let your opponent know that you haven't been playing very long, so they shouldn't expect a hard game. There is literally no downside to this kind of pre-John. If you lose, you've already excused yourself, and if you win, the other guy will compliment you for being so good for how little you played the game. If you're really grasping at straws after a legitimate loss, then it can be a good idea to tell your opponent that you were distracted because of some tragic event in your life. If nothing bad is actually happening, it's acceptable to make something up in order to conserve your dignity, like, Uncle Jeff is in the hospital with cancer, or my family's restaurant got closed down by the health inspector. Now that you know which Johns to use, let's move on to delivery. You often hear about how important mindset is for gameplay, but don't forget that mindset is actually one of the most important things when Johning. Remember to not get too worked up. You are a cool, calculating Johning machine. Always be calm during your gameplay so you can concentrate on determining how to John once you've lost. If you find yourself getting mad during a set, think about what's making you angry and why it's stupid so you can John about it later. Alright, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully this video has helped you improve your John game. Make sure to always keep up with the ever-changing John metagames so you don't get left behind in the next major tournament. Good luck at EVO and happy Johning.